Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan and I'm going to take up this game with your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde. Yes, I'm reviewing another Vampire Survivors clone. I'm addicted, okay, and I need help, just not now. Anyway, is this skill tree roguelike style of Vampire Survivors worth playing? Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde is currently available on PC and is still in early access. It costs $5 and at the time of this recording it took me around 30 hours to fill out the entire skill tree, in which I declared myself done. So what exactly is Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde? Well, like I said, it's a Vampire Survivors clone, which if you don't know what that is, you've either been living under a rock or at the very least haven't been watching this channel. Essentially, these are auto-fire type games where you will gather up to 4 weapons and upgrade them to kill an ever-spawning horde of enemies. After 15 minutes, a boss will appear, and should you kill the boss, you beat the stage. Easy enough. Spirit Hunters' big mix-up is it focuses more on being a roguelike with its upgrade system, as well as having permanent upgrades tied to a skill tree. On the roguelite side, leveling up allows you to choose a selection of upgrades or a new weapon if you don't have 4 for the gear that you currently have. These include things like increasing the weapon's size, damage, critical chance, damage over time, number, and more. All these upgrades are tied to that particular weapon, no sharing, so often the best strategy is making one weapon obscenely overpowered before moving on to others. Additionally, killing mini-bosses or just exploring the map will drop chests, which often include both items to permanently upgrade you as well as gold, which can be spent on shops in that run. Across the map are also mining spots, pet cages, and other chests where you'll need to stand near them for a period of time before they pop and you get their prizes. Most just give gold and permanent upgrades, while pets provide passive buffs to all of your skills. As mentioned, at the end of a 15-minute stage is a boss whom you fight in an ever-decreasing sized arena, which I'll be honest, I do not like this mechanic at all, but whatever. Killing the boss gives loot, and off you go, your loot being multiplied at the end based on the stage difficulty. You'll use these upgrades on the game's skill tree, which has an absolutely insane amount of stuff to unlock. These range from permanent weapon upgrades to upgrades that actually make leveling that weapon better in-game, and this is also where you unlock characters for, at the time of this review, new weapons, new stages, and hard modes of previous stages. And that's essentially the entire game. Kill stuff, get stuff, upgrade stuff, and do it again and again. So what do I like about Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde? Well, killing stuff, getting resources, and getting powered up is satisfying. And once a weapon has a lot of skill tree nodes devoted to it, that makes that weapon feel much better to play, which is great. Additionally, the weapons all play differently, with some being more guided and others being more random, which leads to some decent strategy. And lastly, I do actually really like the skill tree concept, as it allows you to upgrade the specific weapon and characters that you want and ignore the rest. In theory. That is my segue to talk about when it comes to the bad. The skill tree is an absolute nightmare of a grind in its current state, paired with not even being able to see where you're going down the tree, and most upgrades being so insignificant it takes several notes to even notice anything changed. Additionally, weapons and character balance is just all over the place, and unlocking bad weapons like the bone, which is worthless, adds them to the pool. I beat 99% of the game with the XP lady paired with the scythe, vines, and spinning fireball, and there was no reason to branch out. And lastly, the game doesn't provide that dopamine hit of becoming super overpowered or finding great synergies like you would get in 20 minutes till done, Gunlocked, or Vampire Survivors. And jumbling back on that, the lack of synergies I think is the biggest issue. There isn't a lot of cool stuff to discover here, which is really weird. As you know, I rate games on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, don't bother, and Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde is a maybe consider, but I'd honestly recommend waiting before checking it out to see if they add any better stuff in early access. It's a game that starts fun, gets less fun, and then gets fun again after an obscene grind. While the core concept isn't bad, the minuscule upgrades on the skill tree paired with stingy distribution of resources makes progression feel more like a slog than fun. I do think its core gameplay is okay, and there are a lot of things here that I do like, but honestly I'd say let them iron this game out in early access, and then check back in a few months if you want your Vampire Survivors fix. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Spirit Hunters Infinite Horde, are you sick of me talking about Vampire Survivors clones? Because if so, I have some bad news for you. But regardless, go out there and maybe check this game out in a few months.